Warning, what you are about to see is graphic and disturbing, and not for the faint of heart.
What's good, guys? It's Alissa. If you're new here, hello. The Proud family was a staple in Black households. They had so many iconic Black cameos like Ashanti, Smokey Robinson, Raven-Symoné, Sheryl Lee Ralph, and even Kobe Bryant. In recent years, though, many viewers have noticed the controversial and quite honestly problematic nature of the subject matter in the original show. So it hasn't quite stood the test of time, but one thing that will always stand the test of time is that theme song. It's still very much a comfort show for me, and I really enjoyed rewatching some of these episodes in preparation for this video. I've actually seen the first season of Louder and Prouder when it came out on Disney+, which is a reboot of the original Proud Family show that streams exclusively on Disney+. To me, the animation is gorgeous, so outside of just it being good to see that the Proud Family has been rebooted because it is a predominantly Black cast, it's just very beautiful to watch. The animation is amazing. But unfortunately, even with the efforts of them trying to fix the glaring issues in the original series, the show is still being criticized for being too woke. It's not without lack of effort of them trying to fix the issues that were in the original show. I guess these days people are just a bit more hyper aware of when people are trying to convey a message. But as I cover more episodes, I'll give more opinions on that show because that is not what this video is about. But one thing I will say here, just to say it here, is that unfortunately I do feel like Louder and Prouder has become a mouthpiece for white people or non-Black people to tell Black people how racism should be covered in shows or how certain aspects of discrimination should be written in a show. So not really sitting too comfortably with that, because while I do believe that Louder and Prouder still has a lot of work to do because it is essentially the same people working on the show that worked on it before, and who knows how their views on the world have changed, that could be the issue. It has just been a cesspool of fuckery, and Louder and Prouder has made its way to a very unsavory side of the internet that unfortunately I think it will not escape, and it will continue to be in the news cycles of that side. So anyway, with all that has been happening in the country, it is election season. Unfortunately, my birthday always falls around election season. Sorry to us Scorpios. So when the results don't necessarily fall into our favor, it can be a very strange time to celebrate, and you never quite know when you should. But I came across this episode rewatching the Proud Family, and I thought that it was the perfect episode to discuss with things that are going on right now, to just be a little bit lighthearted at a time like this. So in this episode titled Election, Penny Proud, who is the main character of the show, is on a campaign to win an election against the town's rich boy, Lil Wiz. Penny's campaign team uses controversial tactics to win this election for her, and even believe that being pretty will boost her to the top. We start the episode at Penny's school, Willie T. Ribbs Middle School, at an assembly. The Principal Hightower, is unable to get the students' attention, but I guess calling them future hamburger flippers seems to do the trick. Quickly, I want to talk about those of us who have had problematic teachers, especially those of us who went to predominantly Black or predominantly minority schools. A lot of teachers spoke to us like this. Was that a me experience, or is that a universal experience? Because I remember I had a teacher in my music appreciation class at that. It's an elective. He would say things to us, just going on these rants and rambles when we were kind of being a rowdy class. Like when he was unable to like draw our attention back to the lesson, he would say things like, we're not gonna amount to anything. We spend money on a bunch of unnecessary things, and he just spends his money on, white teacher, yes. He spends his money on New Balances, and he keeps these shoes for years and this and that. And in that moment it was weird, but like thinking back, like he was racist. So yeah, has anybody else experienced any teachers like that that definitely didn't need to be like teaching students that were of color? Yeah, that was weird. But anyway, it is now time to elect a new student body president at Willie T. Ribs. As we see, the two candidates are Myron, which is the school nerd, and Penny Proud, who is the semi-popular girl at school. Myron seems to only have the attention of the other nerds at the school, proposing to implement after-school study groups and ensuring that every desk in the library has a reading lamp and a magnifying glass. This only gets the attention, of course, from the other fellow nerds at the school, and the rest of the students unfortunately boo him off of the mic. And I think this kid was just waiting on an opportunity to throw this balloon, because why does he have it in his hand before Myron even starts his speech? So after Myron, Penny steps up to the mic and is met with lots of support. This kind of support is very important. Let me put y'all on game. So of course I am an aspiring full-time content creator. I do this content shit full-time. But if you just have people in your life that you know like support you, literally have them comment on your stuff. Like for me, that's my sister. So anytime I have a live stream or I upload, I'm just like, okay, I feel like this isn't doing that well. Can you guys just please comment on this? And I even hear that a lot of people have their friends comment on their TikToks specific things that they can make another video to. So like if you make a video on one topic, I make 𝙈𝙪𝙨𝙚 videos on my main channel, they'll be like, oh, what do you think about this under the video? So then you can use that comment to make another video, and you just ask the people that you know to do that. Or if you have sponsorships and stuff, if you just have your friends be like, oh my god, this is so great, thank you for posting this, write this stuff down. This calculated support unfortunately means nothing for Penny's campaign, because town superstar Wizard Kelly has a son named Lil Wiz, and Lil Wiz makes a grand entrance into the auditorium with music, spotlights, and confetti, and wins the hearts of everyone with bribery. Penny is disgusted with Lil Wiz's bribery tactics though, and tells him that he has to talk about the issues. He claims that he'll talk about the issues at his campaign party, where he'll be offering free stuff. And it's at this moment that Penny learns a lesson that it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. More than anything, you just have to grab the attention of the people that are trying to vote for you by any means. Penny believed that just by talking about the issues that she'll win them over. But you gotta talk about the issues in between the music and the spotlights. It's like when people make those TikTok videos where they're talking about something and there's like Subway Surfers on the other side and like, I don't know, a Poppet on the other side. Stuff like that. Because at least if they don't vote for you for talking about the issues, they'll vote for you just because you left some type of impact on them. Penny's friend Zoe takes on her campaign after Lil Wiz's antics drastically drop down Penny's numbers. And Zoe will do anything to win.
I have never lost a campaign. Wait, Zoe, isn't this your first campaign?
Zoe pulls out Plan G, which is just hiring the school bullies, the Gross Sisters, to do some dirty work. But Penny questions the Gross Sisters' credentials. They claim to be the reason that Halle Berry and Denzel Washington won Best Actor and Best Actress in the same year at the Oscars. But Penny turns them away because she wants to win this election fair and square. But that makes the Gross Sisters tell her, okay girl, but the last person that told us that was Al Gore. And I'm just like... This part was so funny to me because it's like, of course they're implying that they're the reason why George W. Bush won the election in 2001, but it's just like, how old were the Gross Sisters in 2001? And it's like, this scene was just back-to-back jokes for me because it's like, really imagine the Gross Sisters being a part of George W. Bush's campaign. Like, it's ridiculous. Penny still tries to win fair and square, but against Lil Wiz and his grandiose tactics, she doesn't stand a chance. And she realizes that there's only one thing that can get her that W.
Money!
So Penny goes and asks her dad Oscar to make a contribution to her campaign. This man puts in $5. Until Lil Wiz's dad, Wizard Kelly, runs a campaign slandering the Proud name. So the campaign was basically insinuating that losing is genetic for the Prouds, so he showcases a time that Oscar Proud, her dad, lost embarrassingly against Wizard Kelly in a basketball game in their youth. So this puts fire under Oscar's butt for his daughter to win, and I'm just like, he should have had that fire under his butt in the first place. Like, they were pulling teeth to try to get him to contribute to her campaign. I'm just like, why didn't he just automatically say yes? It was so weird.
Oscar, your daughter needs your help.
I don't know why she's going to her daddy.
For once, I agree with Sugar Mama.
Oscar!
And another thing, I'm confused as to why Lil Wiz is directly campaigning against Penny when Penny is losing this race. Like, I get it, she's the main character, so they have to center Penny in some kind of way, but it's like, Penny is doing worse than Myron, who got a water balloon thrown at him during his campaign speech. Why is Lil Wiz not campaigning against the nerds?
It's a discrimination to nerds everywhere.
Michael, who is her image consultant for this campaign, believes that just being a pretty face will win her this election. So now, with Penny's campaign being financially backed by her dad, he can give her the much needed makeover that he's been wanting to give her since the beginning of the episode. And I have always wondered how on earth Oscar Proud makes his money, because Proud Snacks is like nasty to everybody. And he always has like the worst commercial spots. It's like he's funding his own downfall, and they live in this huge big house and they're asking Oscar to give her some money. I just really would like to know where Oscar's money comes from. But unfortunately, Oscar's involvement actually destroys Penny's chances at winning, so Zoe goes back to Plan G. And one thing you'll notice is that this episode heavily references the political scandal of the 70s, which was Watergate. So Watergate was a scandal where a paranoid President Nixon hires some people to get some scoop on the Democratic Party to use against him during his re-election. So the correlation is that Zoe hires the Gross sisters to get the nastiest scoop that they can on Lil Wiz. And in their snooping, the Gross sisters discovered the nastiest, most scandalous dirt on Lil Wiz that will ultimately guarantee Penny's victory. They show Penny the footage, but they hide the subject matter of it from us, the audience. But essentially, it's so bad that Penny doesn't want to use this dirt on Lil Wiz because it will hurt his feelings. I'm like, they're so middle school. But anyway, Penny doesn't want to lose her integrity to win this election. But Zoe doesn't give a damn, okay? Zoe was like, I do not care. So against Penny's wishes, an anonymous source named Scratchy Throat leaks the graphic and disturbing footage of Lil Wiz.
Big basketball bouncing baby!
This is again a direct reference to the Watergate scandal because an anonymous source named Mark Felt, who had the second highest ranking post in the FBI, gave a tip to follow the money. This is not a direct quote, that is a paraphrase, but that ultimately led to the proof that President Nixon had some involvement in the June 17, 1997 breaking and entering of the Watergate Hotel, which was the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee. Mark Felt's code name was Deep Throat. Yes, that was really his name. And of course, compare that to Zoe's secret code name, which was Scratchy Throat. We getting it? Are we getting it? And this also makes me think of Deep Toot from the Fairly Odd Parents. Like, anytime that I say that somebody's in like deep doo-doo, I always say Deep Toot. Fairly Odd Parents left a huge impact on me. Of course, them being in middle school, the student body quickly turns completely against Lil Wiz and his numbers drop drastically. And just as I speculated earlier, why wasn't Lil Wiz campaigning against Myron? Because in the end, Myron wins by a landslide because the cool kids don't vote. And that was Zoe's whole strategy. She literally told them to only pull the cool kids.
You would know that if you weren't a geek.
Also, in the end, Lil Wiz isn't even embarrassed because he's still rich. And now that he's exposed, he can just suck his thumb publicly. And Zoe tried to tell Penny earlier in the episode that she should try to take him down by any means for this exact reason. Because as we see, Lil Wiz loses nothing in the end. And now his family is going to be sending some health inspectors to her dad's factory, Proud Snacks. So Penny learned a hard lesson here. The presidential race is a popularity contest. And like the Watergate scandal, it essentially had no significance to Nixon's campaign, and he was reelected. Now, like I said, he was a paranoid president, so they uncovered his dirt and he did end up resigning. But like Lil Wiz, even after the thumb-sucking scandal, he was still going to be rich and popular after this. He did lose, faulty comparison, but hey, popularity contest nonetheless. But one thing I really took away from this episode was the writing. Like, this episode was so good. They can literally take this script out of it being a Proud Family episode and put it in like a real life sitcom and you will laugh just the same. Like, I laughed at all the jokes in this episode. But anyway, what do you guys think Penny could have done differently to win her campaign against Lil Wiz and even Myron? Let me know down in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you would like to keep up with me outside of YouTube, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram. I also have a main channel. You can subscribe to me on there. All that information is in the description box down below. But if you made it to the end of this video, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit the notification bell to stay up to date with posts and uploads from me. But for now, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Again, happy Scorpio season, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.